everybody. All right, so I wanted to do something just a little bit different today. I haven't done a shorter video in quite a while, so I wanted to do something for you that is two really functional exercises and then a little stretching combo that I enjoy doing, and I thought that you might enjoy it too. So these are going to be exercises that you need to be able to come down to the ground, to the mat. So if this is not appropriate for you, I have many chair-based videos, so go ahead and check out some of those. If this is something that you're interested in, then give these a try. You will, of course, want to probably have I have a yoga mat out here. You probably want to have some kind of cushioning unless you're on carpet. If you're on carpet, then you'll probably be fine, or a soft surface. Otherwise, you might want a yoga mat or some kind of soft cushion that you can be on. So I'm going to do three things. I'm going to do the inchworm, which is similar to a burpee. It's a full body exercise, but without the hop. I'm also going to do a plank. That is the log roll variation. So we're adding some hip movement in there. And then the third thing is going to be the stretching combo. And we're going to be doing downward dog to a quadricep stretch with rotation and then a pigeon pose. So I will show you all of that. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize it. I will talk you through everything. You can use any or all of these things if you find that they work for you. So enough talking, let's go ahead and get started. Make sure that your workspace is free of any clutter, then no tripping hazards, and of course make sure that you have appropriate clothing on, sturdy shoes, and let's do our exercises. All right, so the first one, as I mentioned, is going to be the inchworm. So many of you are familiar with the burpees where you put your hands down, jump back, jump in, and come up. This is going to be a little bit different. You are going to start in the same position. So we're going to start about hip width apart, forward fold so that you put your hands down on the floor. Go ahead and bend the knees if you need to. Then you're going to walk yourself all the way out. All right, once you get all the way out, you're going to come down to your mat, stomach down to the mat, and push yourself back up. Come back up on your toes and walk the hands back towards your feet. So this whole thing is going to be low impact. Come all the way up, and you're going to finish with an overhead reach. Let me show you that one more time, and I'll try to stay on camera as much as I can. All right, so you're going to start with a forward fold, hands towards the feet, bend the knees as needed, walk the hands away from you so that your body starts coming down towards the floor, lower yourself all the way down, then push yourself back up, come back up onto your toes and walk your hands back towards your feet, all the way in, and then again, you're going to finish with the overhead reach. Now I did a little step back and step in just to stay on camera. You don't have to do that. You can just walk out with the hands, walk in with the hands, and stand back up. And then don't forget the overhead reach. So that is exercise number one. Exercise number two is going to be that plank with the log roll. So what this is going to do is take a traditional plank and add a little bit of movement to it, making it a little bit more challenging, but also hopefully making it a little bit more interesting as well. Now this can be done on the hands. I do prefer to do it on the elbows just because it's less pressure on the wrist. But if you find that on the hands works better for you, that's fine too. So you're going to tuck your elbows underneath your shoulders and then start in your regular plank position. Now you want to check your form. You don't want your hips high, but you also don't want them low. So you don't want the back sagging. So you want a nice solid plank position, shoulders to ankles, and then the feet can be close together, or if you prefer a little wider foot position, that's fine too. Now I'm going to add the log roll by lowering one hip towards the floor and come back to center, and then do the other side. So I'm only dropping the hip down. My upper body is staying stationary. But as you can tell, I'm getting a little out of breath. It's hard to do this and talk, but you're really going to feel that in your waistline. I'm going to do one more. Okay? And then take a break. All right, so That is a super challenging plank variation if you feel like you need to just do one or two at a time, or if you just want to hold the traditional plank position, completely fine. So work at the right level for yourself, but that just gives you a little extra variation, a little bit of movement. There, of course, are lots of different ways to add movement to the plank position, but that's one that does not take any extra equipment, easy to do, but it really adds an extra level of challenge and really works on the waistline. So let me catch my breath and let's go into that stretch combo that I was talking about. So again, it's going to be a downward dog to a lunging stretch for the quadricep with a rotation into a pigeon pose. So I will start with the downward dog. Now, a lot of people don't like downward dog because it's very hard, but I will show you the modifications. So your traditional downward dog, you're going to have the legs straight, walk them in underneath you, drive your heels into the floor, and drive your hips up to the ceiling and bring your ears alongside your arms. Now, if that is a little bit crazy for you, you can bend the knees a little bit if you need to, or you can pedal the feet if you need to do that. Totally fine. You can adjust your hands back out if you need to do that, but try to do as much of a pike position as you can. Now, for the lunging stretch from here, we're going to go ahead and drop one knee down and bring the other knee through to the front, all right? So it's like you're lunging, but you're doing it as a kneeling lunge. Now, adding the rotation here, I'm going to go ahead and reach up and back. Rotate to your own level of comfort. If you feel okay looking all the way up, that's good too. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put a little extra emphasis on bending that front knee to stretch the quadricep and hip flexor on the back leg. Now from here, we're going into our pigeon pose. So if you're not familiar with that, this is one that's really good for stretching that piriformis area. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck my front leg under. Now, depending on your flexibility, you may want to stay just right here and stay up high if you're already feeling that stretch through there. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible, go ahead and come on down. Now, I'm extending that back leg back behind. So again, if this is a very strong stretch, go ahead and stay right there. If you're still feeling like you want even more of a challenge, you can bring your chest down towards your leg. All right, so 3 options on that one: the high, the medium, or the low. All right, let's go ahead and go back to a downward dog. We'll just do a brief one this time since we've already talked through our form on this. Again, modifications if you want to. The goal is driving the tailbone up toward the ceiling. However, if you need to pedal the feet or soften the knees, completely fine. I'm going to go ahead and do my step through for the other side now. So we're going back to that kneeling lunge stretch, and the first part of it is going to be with the rotation. So I'm going to go ahead and reach up, looking up toward the fingers. Again, this should feel good, so make sure that you're not overextending. Now, coming back to the quadricep hip flexor stretch, I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on that by bending the front knee just a little bit more. And we are stretching the front of this rear leg, so the top of the thigh, and then this hip flexor, the psoas, which is what lifts your knee up. All right, so let's go back one more time into our downward dog. This is the last downward dog that we'll do. Again, if these are really hard for you, go ahead and modify, but just keep at it, because I found that over time, I've gotten more comfortable doing that. Now, to finish off with, I'm going to go ahead and drop down. You can call this a cobra or an upward dog, whatever you would like to do. This is, again, up to your level of comfort and flexibility for your back. I love to stretch my back. However, if that feels like too much, go ahead and just release out of it a little bit. Then from here, you can go into a nice child's pose, which is a really good lower back stretch. It feels great. Keep reaching forward, and if you're able to, sit all the way back on your heels. And then I'm going to bring one hand back by the hip and go ahead and add a little rotation there. That's a very nice lat stretch. Come back to the front, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Hand by the hip, rotate in that direction. And come back to center. All right, so final bonus stretch. One that I like to do for my neck is just grabbing the hands together behind the back, rotate the shoulders back and lift. Now again, this should not be painful. It should feel like a strong but comfortable stretch. So just stay in your own level of comfort. And then I'm going to add an ear to shoulder. It seems like most people carry their tension in their neck and their upper traps. So we're going to try and stretch some of that out. And go ahead and do the other side. And then finally, we'll just tuck the chin down towards the chest. And again, if this is too much with the hands grabbed together behind your back, feel free to release those out. And that's it. All right, shake out your arms, shake out your body, whatever you need to do. Again, I have lots and lots of videos, plenty of chair-based videos that you can check out for strength training, yoga, meditation. I have several standing cardio videos. We've been doing this for over a year now, so I'm still going to produce one of those type of videos this week, but I just wanted to do, I realized I hadn't done a short video in a while, so I wanted to do a short video for those of you that feel comfortable with coming down to the ground and give you a couple of things that I hope will be beneficial to you in terms of using for a full body functional exercise and a nice stretching combo. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you again soon. Bye.